If you're looking to have decentralized finance explained to you in a simple enough way that a third grader could understand it, but an intelligently enough way that you could actually use it to make life-changing passive income, then you're in the right place. Welcome to part 2 of this DeFi explained course for beginners. In this part, we're actually going to be talking about how do you connect to this amazing world of decentralized finance. In part 1, we covered kind of the basics and the foundations, the lingo, the stuff that you need to understand before we can actually connect and start doing things inside decentralized finance. If you've not seen that yet, then you probably want to go back and review that. So we're going to be covering, in this video, we're going to be covering Metamask, which is how we're going to be connecting to this world. We're going to be talking about blockchain explorers and DeFi dashboards to monitor all of your activity inside your new bank account here inside of decentralized finance. Then the next part, we're going to do part 3, where we're actually going to get in and talk about how do you actually use all this. So DEXs, swapping, lending and borrowing, staking, liquidity providing, bridging, all of that. And then part 4, we're going to get in and talk about the actual strategy behind how do you use this to make life-changing passive income. So part 2, how do we actually connect to this amazing world of decentralized finance? And we're going to be doing that using something called Metamask. Whenever we're connecting with these decentralized exchanges or with these decentralized banks, as I like to call them, we're going to be using a little Chrome extension called Metamask. And what Metamask is it's really like your decentralized bank account, okay? And I'm actually going to cut to a quick clip here where I walk you through exactly what Metamask is and how to set it up, and I'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. So first things first is we're actually going to download Metamask. It's a Chrome extension, so make sure that you're using Chrome or Brave. I like to use Brave because it's faster, it's more private, and you can also earn the basic attention token simply for using it. So use Chrome or Brave, and then all you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to click Install Metamask for Brave, and you want to make sure that you're actually downloading this one that has like 10 million plus users. You're not downloading some scammy, phony alternative version of Metamask. So just click Add to Brave, and you'll click Add Extension. After you've downloaded it, you can come to this little puzzle icon and you can come in, you can actually pin it here. So that way you're going to have it right here. And then we want to go ahead and we actually want to start. So we're going to start and we're basically going to set up a new account. If you already have a wallet, then you can obviously import it using your secret recovery phase. But in this case, I'm going to create a new one. I'm just going to click agree and I'm going to create my new password, which has to be 8 characters long. So let me go ahead and do that now. And then you just want to agree to the terms of use and you want to click create. Now, after you get taken to a little video right here that you can watch, or you can just go ahead and click next. Now, this part's most important. Here's where you're going to get your secret recovery phase, and it's going to be revealed right here when I click this unlock button. And it's really, really important that you write this down, that you keep it somewhere very safe, that you never share this with anyone, because if this ever gets out, then somebody can come into your bank account and they can basically steal your money. Also, it's really important that you don't forget about this because this is decentralized finance, okay? There's no bank that you can call up and say, hey, I forgot my password. And there's horror stories of people that have forgotten their seed phrase and they've been locked out of their money, and we don't want that to happen. So make sure that you absolutely write this down somewhere safe that can never be accessed by anyone else besides yourself and maybe your wife or your husband in this case. But you want to go ahead and you first want to copy this down, and then we're going to proceed. So after you've copied this down, you can go ahead and click next. And you're actually going to have to put in your seed phrase now here in the correct order. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then after you've put them down in the correct order, you're just going to go ahead and click confirm, and then boom, you have your account. Okay, so now that you have your Metamask account, let's go ahead and do a quick tour. A couple things here. At the very top, we can see which ecosystem or which layer 1 or which blockchain we're actually interacting with. So you can see that we have the Ethereum mainnet here. You can also go ahead and you can add networks by clicking on this button here, and you'll basically have to put in this information: the new RPC URL, the chain ID, the block explorer URL, and the network name. Now, to find out how do I add, for example, the Binance Smart Chain to my Metamask, you can just Google how to add Binance Smart Chain to Metamask, it's really simple. I'll also include a document somewhere here so you can see exactly what information that you need to put. But all you're going to do is click Add Network. So you'll probably want to add Binance Smart Chain, maybe Polygon, Avalanche, maybe some of the most popular ones that we're actually going to be interacting with. So that's how you do that right there. Now, next thing is this address right here. This is your public address. So this is kind of like your email address, except for it's your bank account address. And it's okay if other people actually know your address. So this isn't something that you need to keep hidden. But anytime somebody is going to send you money, or you're going to send money, say, for example, from your centralized broker, like Binance or KuCoin or like Coinbase, and you're going to send it to your Metamask account, you're going to want to use this public address right here. Now on Ethereum, it always starts with this 0x, okay? Now, a couple things that you can do here on MetaMask. If you want to send crypto, you can just click on the send button and you can type in whatever public address that you're going to be sending the cryptocurrency to right here. It's very, very simple. The other thing that you can do is you can swap assets. So say, for example, you want to swap from like Ethereum to, say, we want to swap to, let's say, USDC. You would just go ahead and click in here and you can go ahead and review the swap. I don't have any funds in this one, but that's exactly how you'd swap it. You can also do this on a decentralized exchange, which is the preferred way to do it, which we'll talk about later on. Now, also here, you can see all of your assets right here, okay? And also, you can go ahead and click on activity, and you'll be able to see any activities. So any transactions that's actually happened on your MetaMask account, you'll be able to see this down here. Now, also, if you are wanting to see a token that you may have just bought, you can come in here to import tokens. You can type in the token that you want to add to your MetaMask account, and then you can click on it and you just click next. You import the token, and now you'll be able to see your USDC balance in here as well. Okay, so now that you have a quick tutorial and have set up your MetaMask account, the next thing we're going to talk about is blockchain explorers. And once you understand how one of these blockchain explorers work, they work pretty much exactly the same on all different layer ones or all different smart contract platforms or all different ecosystems. So for example, for Ethereum, it's called etherscan.io. And if you look at with Binance, it's called bscscan.com, and it looks almost identical. It works pretty much identically. And you can also see something called Snowtrace for Avalanche, okay? Each different blockchain is going to have their own blockchain explorer, okay? So essentially what we can do is we can put in any sort of transaction or any sort of public address, and we can see what's actually going on. So what we can do is we can go ahead and type in any transaction or any public address or any token contract, and we can basically just put it in here. So this was a wallet address that I just randomly found, which you can see by this string right here of numbers. And I can basically see the value that this account has in Ethereum, 0.04 Ethereum. And I can see that it has basically $148 worth of Ethereum here. It also holds $200 worth of USDC, it looks like. And I can see any of their transaction history right here. So I could see like where they're sending the money to, where they're sending it from. So I can actually just go in here and click on one of these transactions, for example, and I can see like basically what's actually going on here. Well, it looks like the transaction was transferred from here. It was bridged through something called the seller network, which we'll talk about bridging later on. And it looks like $10,100 worth of USDC were originally in this wallet address. I can also see the gas price in terms of GUI, which was 119 GUI that was paid for this transaction. I can see the transaction fee was $37.36. So I can then go ahead and I can come to BSC scan. I can put in that same address or any token address, and I can see more information about what's actually happening on this blockchain. And I can see again here that there's about $17 in this account worth of BUSD. Really exciting. And I can see any transactions that this wallet has actually performed down here below. I can see the block number, the age of the transaction when this actually happened, the from and to address. Basically, you know, if I click on any of these, I can see more detailed analytics just like I showed previously. So it looks like there was a bridge from, BUSD, and it traded on, it went through this bridge here. So you can see all of the different transaction information, or if you have somebody's wallet address, you can track exactly what they're trading. Or if you don't see something that shows up in your MetaMask, you're like, I swear I bought it, but it doesn't show in my MetaMask account, then come on here, type in your address, and you'll be able to see all the coins and tokens that you own right here. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about is DeFi dashboards. And these are kind of like your scoreboards where you can see everything that's happening inside of decentralized finance. Now, probably the most popular one is something called zapper.fi. And basically what this is it's a dashboard. So you can see your wallets. You can see how much you have ability to claim. You can see any debt that you have or how many loans that you've taken out. You can see NFTs, for example, that you may hold or that this person may hold here. You can also see the different protocols that you're interacting with. So you can see they're interacting with Aave on Ethereum and on the Avalanche platform and on Polygon. They have some money in Trader Joe and Reaper. You can see the different networks and the value that they have in these different networks. So you can come in here to Phantom, for example, and you can see exactly what's going on. So the best way to really understand how to use this is to basically just go and play around with it. It's completely free. Now, they also have some cool stuff where they have like their own, basically their own decentralized exchange where you can come in here and you can do your own swaps. So let's say we want to swap for BNB for BUSD. You can do that all right here natively inside of their platform. You can change which ecosystem you actually want to operate on, and you can do it like so. You can also come down here to pool, for example, and you can find different liquidity pool positions here, which we'll talk about later on, a little bit outside of this. We can also find different bridges. So when we're bridging from, let's say, the Binance Smart Chain to Ethereum, again, we'll talk about it later on. You can use that here. There's also a bridge natively here. And you can also find different farming opportunities here. So again, I know some of this may be a little bit Greek to you. We're going to be covering that in the next video, where we're going to be covering DEXs, swapping, lending and borrowing, staking, liquidity providing, bridging, auto compounders, all of that in part 3 of this video series. Now, another tool that you may like to actually use is something called apeboard.finance. And it works very similar to this. It just has a little bit different UI, and you can see it similarly just like this. Okay, so very similar. You can see your NFTs if you have any NFTs. You can see any of the different protocols that you may be in. Anything like this you can see just like you could see it in zapper.fi. I recommend just playing around with both of them and seeing whichever one that you like better. They work pretty much the same exact way. So now that we've understood how to actually connect and monitor our progress here inside of decentralized finance, let's continue on to part 3, where part 3, this is the biggie, where we're going to be covering DEXs, swapping, lending and borrowing, staking, liquidity providing, bridging, auto compounders, all of that. So let's continue on to part 3. And by the way, if you'd like to actually just follow all of the exact plays that we're making inside of decentralized finance, we have a little playbook, which you can become a member at blueedgefinancial.com/crypto, and you can just follow along exactly what we're doing. With that being said, let's continue to part 3.